Your offer was accepted. Congratulations, but you're not done yet. In fact, some of the most critical work happens right now during what is called the due diligence phase, or in Texas, the option period. In the due diligence phase, you are going to do things like your home inspection, negotiate repairs, work on ordering the appraisal, reviewing your title work. This is your opportunity to verify that the home that you're buying is actually worth what you're paying, that it doesn't have hidden problems that will cost you tens of thousands of dollars later, and that you can legally own it. I'm David Karras, and in this video, I'm walking you through everything that happens during the due diligence period. This is where buyers either protect themselves or make catastrophic mistakes that haunt them for years. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get a home inspection, right? And why it's absolutely non-negotiable, and what inspectors are looking for, and when you need specialized inspections like radon or termites, sewer scopes, and mold, and so much more. And in my next videos, you'll learn how to negotiate repairs strategically without killing your deal, what an appraisal is and what happens if it comes in low, why title insurance matters, and how it protects you from legal nightmares, and everything that you need to know about homeowners insurance and flood insurance. Most buyers, they rush through this entire phase or skip critical steps to save money. Then they move in and they discover foundation issues, termite damage, or title problems that could cost them tens of thousands of dollars or more. Don't let that be you. By the end of this video, my goal is to help you know exactly what an inspection is and why you don't want to skip it. And you're going to be finding out that this series is going to be so much helpful. And if you are finding it helpful, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Now, this is part of the most comprehensive home buying guide on YouTube, and every video builds on the last one. This is video 5. You don't want to miss a single step. So let's dive in. The home inspection is the single most important thing that you will do during your due diligence phase. This is your chance to find out what's really wrong with the house before you're committed to buying it. Now, a home inspector, they are a trained professional who examines the home from top to bottom, inside to outside, left to right, everything. And they identify defects, safety issues, and items that may need repair or replacement. So let's talk about why you need one. Well, first, sellers aren't always honest. Some sellers, they intentionally hide problems, and some sellers generally just don't know about issues. Disclosure laws vary by state, and not everything must be disclosed. And you can't rely on the seller's word alone. Even if you're handy, you don't have the training or experience of a licensed inspector. Inspectors know what to look for and where to look. They have specialized tools such as moisture meters, infrared cameras, electrical testers. They look at structural issues to see if there might be anything hidden behind the walls. They're looking at electrical problems that might not be obvious until tested. Plumbing issues that might not show symptoms during your 20-minute showing. They're looking at HVAC systems, seeing if they work or not. They look at your hot water heater, the roof, so much more. Now, skipping an inspection to save $400 to $600 is penny wise, but it's pound foolish. Your inspection contingency is designed to protect you. If the inspection reveals major problems, you have a couple options to choose from. You can request repairs, you can request credits, or you can request a price reduction. Worst case scenario, you can cancel the contract and get your earnest money back if you do that within your contingency period. Now, without an inspection, you have no leverage and no way out. In extremely hot markets, some buyers, they may waive inspections to be more competitive. This is incredibly risky. If you're considering this, see if you can get a pre-inspection before making your offer. Pay for an inspection before you're under contract, right? only do this if you're prepared to accept any problems, you have the cash and reserves for unexpected repairs, and you understand you're taking on a huge gamble. I strongly advise against waiving inspections unless you absolutely must to compete and you're financially prepared for the worst case scenario. Now, a comprehensive home inspection, it examines every major system and component of the home. Here are some things that they are checking for. Let's talk about structural components first, okay? With regards to the foundation, they are looking for things like cracks. They're looking for settling or shifting. They're looking for water intrusion or moisture in areas it shouldn't be. They're looking for proper drainage and grading. As far as framing, they are looking for structural integrity of the walls, the floors, ceilings. They're looking for signs of sagging or movement. They're looking for proper construction and support. They will look at the roof and look for the age of the roof and the condition of the roofing material. Is there missing or damaged or loose shingles? Is there signs of leaks or water damage? Is the flashing around the chimney there or is it gone? How are the vents? They're looking at the condition of the gutters and downspouts, the attic ventilation. They're looking for the estimated remaining lifespan. They will check the exterior and they look for the siding condition and attachment. They'll look at the windows and the doors for operations, seals, weather stripping. They're looking at the grading and drainage away from the foundation. Walkways, driveways, and patios. They're looking for cracking or settling. With decks and porches, they're looking for the structural integrity and safety. Next, they're going to check major systems like your HVAC system, right? Does it operate properly? They're going to look for the age of the equipment. The typical lifespan is 15 to 20 years. They're going to look for evidence of maintenance. Was it properly installed? Is it venting right? Does the thermostat work? Is the air filter clean? They're going to look at plumbing to check the water pressure and look for signs of leaks and types of pipe material and conditions. They will check the water heater for the age and functionality. They're typically good 10 to 15 years. The inspector will look for any drainage and fixture problems. They will also check for the presence of any galvanized or polybutylene pipes. Those are problematic. Next, they will check the electrical service panel to see what type of capacity the house has. They will see if it's properly wired and grounded. They're going to look for GFCI outlets where they're required, such as kitchens, bathrooms, and the exterior. They're going to look for signs of amateur wiring or hazards like that, aluminum wiring, which is a fire hazard. They're going to look for sufficient outlets for modern needs. Inside the house, they're checking for the walls, the ceilings, the floors. They're looking for cracks, water stains, or damage. They will look for levelness and structural integrity and see if the floor squeaks or if there's any soft spots that may be present. With regards to the doors and windows, they're going to be inspecting them for proper operation. They will check to see if the seals and the weather stripping work, as well as do they lock and are they safety. If they meet safety requirements. Bathroom fixtures and operations are going to be checked. They're going to look for signs of water damage, properly ventilated, and tile and grout conditions. They're going to look for things in the kitchen that include the appliances, cabinets, and countertops, and the plumbing underneath the sinks. When they go into the attic, they are checking the components up there. They're looking for the insulation. They're going to identify the type of insulation and the amount. They will also look at the proper ventilation and any signs of roof leaks or pests, and if they can see any issues with the structural components. Now, if your house has a basement or a crawl space, the inspector is going to go down there and look at it. They're going to look for moisture or water intrusion. Again, they are looking for the foundation condition, proper ventilation down there, structural supports. If it has a sump pump, is it operating? All right, there's just so much stuff. Now, safety items, they're going to be the next thing we're going to talk about. They will identify the location of the smoke detectors. They're going to verify that they're present and operating, and they're going to look at the expiration dates. They're going to make sure that carbon monoxide detectors are present and functioning, especially near bedrooms and fuel-burning appliances. They will check the railings and stairs to make sure that they are secure and to code. The inspector will verify that GFCI outlets are in the wet areas, the kitchens, the bathrooms, the garage, the exterior, and they're going to make sure that they're present and operating correctly. Inspectors do a lot of things, but they don't do everything. So let's go into some of the things that they do not do. They aren't movers, so they're not going to move furniture. They're not going to lift carpet. They will not inspect behind the walls or in inaccessible areas. They don't provide cost estimates for repairs because they just note the issues. They're not the experts that are going to do the work to price it out. They don't guarantee that the home is problem free. What they will do, though, they will provide a snapshot of the home's condition on the day of the inspection. Inspection times, well, they vary. The typical inspection for a small house, like 1,500 square foot or less, probably 2 to 3 hours. For an average size house, 1,500 to 3,000 square foot, you're looking at 3 to 4 hours. Now, if you have a large home that's 3,000 square foot more, or you got a septic, sprinklers, things like that you want checked out, you're looking at 4 to 6 hours. If you have additional inspections like well, septic, pool, you need to add a couple more hours for that. If an inspector rushes through a house, if they're done in like an hour, that's a red flag that they're not being thorough. Now, you should absolutely attend your home inspection if possible. This is your education about your future home. Inspectors will normally tell you or your real estate advisor when would be a good time to come. Usually it's like the last hour of the inspection. The inspector, they're going to walk you through all the major systems. You'll learn where the shutoffs are for the water, the gas, the electrical panel. Right? You're going to understand how things work, and you'll see problems firsthand, not just read about them. I really recommend that you ask questions. So here are some questions you should really think about asking. How serious is the issue? How much longer will this system last? What maintenance should I do? And is this a safety concern? Inspectors are usually happy to educate buyers. Another plus for going to the inspection is that you will get to see what the item is for yourself. Reading crack and foundation on a report isn't the same as seeing it for yourself. You'll be able to understand the severity or the minuteness of it better, and you can take your own photos for reference. Now, while work on the building, while you're there, you can work on your building a relationship with the inspector, right? That way, if you have any questions after reviewing the report, you already have a rapport built, and you might use this inspector for further home inspections or referrals. So here are a few things that you will want to bring. Bring a notebook and pen if you're analog. Bring your camera, your phone for photos. Bring a flashlight for dark areas. Bring a measuring tape if you want to measure spaces. And bring questions that you prepare in advance. Now let's talk about what not to do at the inspection. Don't bring everybody and their cousin. Just you and maybe your spouse or partner or a trusted friend. Don't bring the kids. Don't bring extended family. Don't bring friends. It gets distracting. If you get there early or at the start, don't interfere. Let the inspector work. Ask questions during natural breaks, not while they're focused on testing something. Don't argue with the inspector. If you disagree with something, note it and discuss it with your agent later. And don't be in there and try to negotiate repairs on the spot with your agent, right? The listing agent or the seller might be present, or they could be listening or watching you through security cameras. You don't want to give up your position. Keep discussions professional and save negotiations for later. Another thing to do or not to do is don't expect definitive answers on everything. Inspectors identify issues, but they can't always diagnose the exact cause or cost. They are jacks of all trades, but a master of none. Note things that concern you. Ask for clarification on anything you do not understand. Take photos of issues that the inspector points out. That way you can reference back to them. And note which items the inspector says is urgent versus routine maintenance. The inspector will usually provide the report within 24 to 48 hours. Reports are typically very detailed. They can be between 30 and 80 or more pages depending on how big the house is. Read it thoroughly, discuss the findings with your agent, and decide what to request from the seller. The inspection report, it can be overwhelming. Getting a 50-plus page inspection report with dozens of photos and hundreds of observations can be crazy, but I'm going to show you how to interpret it. Most reports are organized by either the system or an area. The summary page is a quick overview of all the major issues. Then you'll have a detailed section that goes room by room or system by system with their findings. Then there'll be photos. Photos are going to be provided for visual documentation of the issues. Then you'll have the inspector's recommendations on what may need attention. Now, inspectors, they use different systems, but the most common one is the color coding. Red is critical, yellow is monitor, and green is good. Very much like a traffic light. Inspectors can't say, this house is a money pit or a dump, don't buy it. But they'll note serious concerns, and here are some red flag phrases that inspectors will use in their report. Recommend evaluation by a licensed structural engineer. That's code for potentially serious structural issues. Recommend evaluation by a licensed electrician. Code for potentially serious electrical hazard. Evidence of moisture intrusion means ongoing water problems. Recommend further investigation means they found something concerning but can't fully assess it. These are just some example phrases that mean you need to get a specialist to look at this before you finalize your purchase. Now let's talk about what can be considered a major issue and a minor issue, and that varies based off of the person and their experience. Here are some major issues and things that should concern you. Now, with regard to the foundation, large cracks, especially if they're horizontal or stair-stepping, significant settling or movement, and active water intrusion. Roof issues, such as missing, damaged, or worn shingles with only 1 to 2 years of life left, if it has active leaks or improper installation. With regards to structural issues such as sagging floors and ceilings, improperly supported loads, or significant termite or pest damage. With regards to the HVAC, problems such as non-functioning heating or cooling, systems at the end of its expected lifespan, or a cracked heat exchanger, because that can cause carbon monoxide risk. Now, electrical issues such as aluminum wiring, that's a fire hazard. Inadequate service panel, improper or dangerous wiring, missing GFCI protection in required areas, or oversized or undersized breakers. Now, plumbing concerns like active leaks, polybutylene or galvanized pipes, those need replacement. Sewer line issues or a failing water heater. With regard to safety hazards, deficiencies such as missing smoke or carbon monoxide detectors, improperly vented gas appliances, exposed electrical wiring, or unsafe railings or stairs. Now, if you're looking at, and you can see mold, right? That's an issue. Active termite infestation or rodents and pest damage. An inspector will call out what they think is mold, but they'll call it microbial growth because they cannot definitively, without a test, call it mold. Now, this list is not all inclusive. Each house is different and it presents different issues. The main thing that you want to keep in mind is, can it, will it, or is it causing flood, blood, fire, or death? If the answer is yes to any of these critical areas, you need to pay special attention to them. Now let's talk about minor issues such as normal wear and tear. Cosmetic damage like scuff marks, small nail holes, dirt, slow drains that just need to be cleaned, minor cracks in walls or ceilings, that's normal settling. Now, weather stripping that needs replacement, clogged gutters, missing light bulbs or broken outlet covers, minor landscaping issues, and small amounts of deferred maintenance. That's all minor stuff, right? You can keep, you can do that later. It's not going to significantly impact the house. Now, there are things that you can address easily and inexpensively, right? Let's talk about how to prioritize deficiencies. We're going to do a tier schedule. So tier 1, safety and structural. This is the things like electrical hazards, structural damage, active water intrusion, carbon monoxide risk, things like that. These must be addressed either by the seller or before closing, or by you immediately after. Tier 2, major systems near failure. So the HVAC system, right, that's 20 years old, the roof with 1 to 2 years left, the water heater that's failing, sewer line issues, these will cost you soon. So negotiate now while you have some leverage. Tier 3, repairs that affect habitability, right? Items like plumbing leaks, non-functioning appliances if included, broken windows or doors. These should be fixed but aren't emergencies. Tier 4, routine maintenance. These things are something that you could include, or that would include painting, minor repairs, landscaping, caulking, weather stripping, some cleaning. These are your responsibility as a homeowner, and typically they're not negotiated. Now, this list of items is not all inclusive, but designed to give you an idea of what items could fit in a particular category. You'll dictate what goes into where. Now, you may be wondering what to do with the report once you get it. Well, first, you want to review it with your agent. Hopefully, your agent has seen hundreds of inspection reports and they can help you identify which issues are serious and can advise you on what's responsible to request. Okay, you don't give them the entire report and say fix it. Okay, get estimates if needed. If you got major issues, extend your feasibility time so you can get a contractor in there. This gives you data to support your repair request. So, for example, the HVAC system is 22 years old and the inspector recommends replacement. You obtain a quote for $8,000 to replace it. Right? Once you have done this, then you need to decide on your strategy. Will you request repairs? Will you request credits? Or will you request a price reduction? Or will you walk away? We're going to cover that detail in the next video. The main thing is to not panic. Almost every home has issues in the inspection report, even new construction. Sometimes new construction has more than pre-owned homes. The question is, are they serious and are you comfortable taking on the risks? A long report doesn't mean a bad house. It means that your inspector was very thorough. And not all inspection findings are created equal. You need to know the difference between this is a deal breaker and this is just normal home ownership. Let's talk about deal breaker issues. These deal breaker issues are problems that should make you seriously consider walking away or require significant negotiations, and can include things like severe foundation problems. Right? If the foundation has major structural cracks, if there is active and significant settling, or water intrusion causing structural damage, and the cost to repair could be $10,000 or more, then you may want to consider walking away. If there is extensive termite or pest damage, this could be concerning. Structural wood damage throughout the home or an active infestation that has been ongoing could cost you $5,000 or more to repair. If the house has major roof failures, such as the roof is actively leaking in multiple places, the roof has failed and needs immediate replacement, or there is structural damage from leaks. Now, to replace a roof, you could be as upwards of $30,000 or more depending on the size and material needed to repair or replace the roof. Electrical system hazards such as aluminum wiring throughout, that's a fire hazard. Severely undersized electrical panels or extensive amateur wiring, that could cost you anywhere from $8,000 to $20,000 or more to rewire. Let's talk about plumbing system failures such as polybutylene or galvanized pipes throughout. You're going to need to get them replaced. A sewer line collapses or you have major damage, that could cost you anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, maybe even more. If the house has extensive mold growth throughout the home, or microbial growth, as the inspector will call it, it will require professional remediation and cost you anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000 or more, depending on the extent of the infestation. Now let's talk about some serious issues that need addressing. These are expensive, but not necessarily deal breakers if the seller addresses them, or you can get credit or a price reduction. If the HVAC system is near its end of life, maybe you negotiate to get a new one or you get a credit for it. Water heater failure. If the roof is near the end of life, I'd say between 1 and 3 years remaining. If you have sewer line issues, if there's grading or drainage problems, here are some moderate issues that you could use for negotiations. Let's go plumbing leaks. Windows don't open or close properly. Maybe the gutters need some repair or cleaning out. The deck or porch needs some repair. Those are some examples. Now here is some examples of some minor issues, and I would say probably don't sweat these. Caulking weather stripping, minor cracks in the drywall, slow drains, missing light bulbs, missing outlet covers, maybe cracked outlet covers. These are trivial fixes, right? Anything that can cost you $50 or less, all right? Some touch-up paint needed to make it look good. Those are minor. Don't sweat them. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is all good and well, Dave, but how do I assess severity? Well, you need to ask these questions. Is it a safety hazard? Electrical, structural, carbon monoxide? Will it cost you $5,000 or more to fix it? Will it get worse if not addressed immediately? Will it affect my ability to get insurance or financing? And am I comfortable taking this on? If you answered yes to multiple questions, this is a serious issue worth negotiating. Here's the bottom line. Every home will have inspection findings. The key is distinguishing between normal wear and tear and serious problems that will cost you a lot of money. Now, don't kill the deal over minor issues, but absolutely negotiate or walk away if there are safety hazards or expensive repairs needed. Now, we've talked about a general home inspection. However, the house that you're looking at may require additional inspections, and we're going to go into many of these next. Now, some of these inspections, they may be required by your lender based on your loan type. Your lender and your real estate advisor will help you identify what will be required based on your location and loan type and home features. These additional inspections include, but are not limited to, radon testing, wood destroying insect inspection, also known as a termite inspection, pest inspection, a sewer scope inspection, septic inspection, mold inspection, lead-based paint inspection for homes built before 1978. Here is a pro tip: just don't eat the paint chips. Another big one is a well inspection. Then you have pool and spa inspections, chimney and fireplace inspections, foundation and structural engineer inspections, HVAC inspections if you find issues, an electrical inspection if you have concerns about the electricity, a roof inspection, and a sprinkler system inspection. This is a pretty thorough list, but it is not all-inclusive. The bottom line on specialized inspections: don't skip them to save money. Specialized inspections cost a few $100s, but can save you tens of thousands of dollars in surprise repairs after closing. Your general inspector will often recommend specialized inspections when they see concerns. Take their advice. That's what you're paying them for. I know we went through a lot of different things, and it may seem very overwhelming, but having the right inspector and the right real estate advisor can make this process seem very simple and definitely a lot less arduous. In the next video, I'm going to go over tips such as negotiating repairs or credits and price reductions based on the inspection report, and to make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you get notified when that one drops. The subsequent ones are going to go into title and insurance and the appraisal. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.